Today is 2 weeks out from my planned 40-day fast. I have been practicing fasting for 10, 12 years, somewhere around there, as I have worked through my health difficulties. And as I've done that, I've got more and more disciplined with the food that I eat. I've got more and more comfortable with not eating. I have eliminated so many of the different junk foods that I might be craving. I have been able to stop binge eating, which has been a problem of mine my entire life, that I never really thought was an issue until probably the last 5 or 10 years. I just thought that was normal. And fasting has become one of those things that is a regular thing that I do. Now, in my younger days, skipping a meal was hell. Like, I just couldn't. I would lose my mind. And I think a lot of that was to do with an overgrowth of fungus and parasites in my system that were just sort of running the show and just craving all the sugar and the junk food and all sorts of stuff. That's a story for another day, but fasting does help with a lot of those things. So last year I did 28 days and it was just all liquids. During that time was mostly juice at the start, and I finished off with almost 3 days on just water. Now, the benefits of water fasting are vast, but I find it's very, very difficult. And I've always found difficulty with just having water and nothing else. However, as soon as I started thinking about this fast and that I haven't done one for a while, some things popped up into my life. I got an email come through from someone that I had been studying the fasting from, and he was the one that sort of started me on that. And lo and behold, I went and watched one of the presentations that he did about some certification or something that he was doing, and he mentioned this fasting documentary. So I watched that through, and then there was a second follow-up to that, and I watched that through. And that gave me some more insight into how I have been doing them and what I probably should be doing differently. So that I will. And then I found some more information on a different stretching modality, fascial stretching, that helps to loosen the body up and to rehydrate the tissues. And that all interrelated with the whole fasting thing. And the guy who was talking about that had done many multi-day fasts. I think 44 days might have been the longest one that he's done. And the insights that he gave were very interesting. And only a few days ago have I found more information that is going to pertain to this fast that I'm doing, that makes me not just second guess what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, but looking into the details as to what I can do to make this the most effective and most beneficial for me. So why am I doing it? The main issue that I have had for many years is this issue with fungus and parasites in my system. And the problem that causes is they eat your food and then they secrete more toxins into your system. And because this has been going on for so long for me, the toxins in my system are built up to a point that is unmanageable. My body can't get rid of the toxins fast enough. And that's despite taking many different supplements and doing many different practices to be able to detox regularly. So I have been doing coffee enemas for years, probably 14, 15 years now. That's one of the things that you can use to be able to flush your colon and help the body to dump a lot of the toxic bile and whatever byproducts out of your body. On top of that, sauna. On top of that, castor oil packs. On top of that, so many different supplements. N-acetylcysteine, glutathione, I've got a liver refresh blend, which is incredible. I don't even remember most of the different ones that I've got, but I spend a huge amount of money on supplements and a huge amount of time doing these practices to try and clear my system out. It's gotten so backed up in the last 4 years of not being able to lose the excess body fat that I'm carrying, because when the body gets toxic, it stores excess toxins in the fat away from the essential organs, so it's not disrupting its systems. And despite doing 100 days of no junk food multiple times, including I think one of them I got up to 234 days of no junk food straight, and I still couldn't lose the body fat because of the toxic buildup. So I am going through the fasting system to allow my body to rest. As it rests, it will be given clean water and plenty of it, and that's going to help flush some of the toxins out of the body. The digestive system is going to have time to rest, which means it can repair itself. I'm going to be giving it a lot of support to be able to repair that digestive system lining. So if you've ever heard of leaky gut, that's one of the big things that goes along with that. And as that gets better, that means less toxins coming into my system, which means more energy. Once I'm at that point, less toxins coming into the system, hopefully I've been able to find some other different protocols, either supplements or activities that I can do to be able to pull even more toxins out of my body, and that in turn will then free up the energy that I have even more. It also stops feeding the bugs, because they also like to feed on that as well as secrete it, just making life far more difficult. And then the final stage is being able to try and kill off any of the residue of those fungus, parasites, etc. Now I find the killing part is very easy. I could do that right now. The problem is, if I do that, it floods my body with toxins because it's way too toxic right now. So I don't want to be doing the killing part first. I want to be rebuilding the digestive system and detoxifying my system as a priority. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start on water this time, because that's supposedly the best way you do it, but it works in a sequence. So ideally you do a 4-day colon cleanse. The colon cleanse mix comes from Tyler Tolman. Tolmans have been doing alternative health for a very long time, and they're very, very good, and their knowledge is very high. So 4-day colon cleanse followed by 3 days of eating only fruit, and then the water fast would begin. Now I am also doing some pre-fast preparation. So I did 1 day of eating only fruit a couple of days ago. Yesterday was only fruit. Today is only fruit. I shared a meal with my friend the other day, so I ate regular food, and I'm probably going to do fruit for 5 days this week, and then I'm going to eat regular food for a couple of days before I go on to this colon cleanse. And the reason I'm doing that is because there is a party that's been planned for a long time. It is a Mexican party. I love Mexican food, and I also just love being with people. So being able to celebrate with people, and the breaking of bread, the sharing of food, is a major part of health. So that's something that I really want to be part of. So I have set aside the time for that. So that's the goal. What happens? I don't know. But one thing I do know is I don't expect to get it perfect. Am I going to mess up on some certain things? Sure. Am I going to get tempted? Am I going to get swayed? Am I going to last 40 days? I don't know. It's less important about the result. What is important is that you get started with some sort of an intention to get better. And if I do that, then I win. So whether I get the result that I really want, I don't know. But I'm going to get the result that I need. And I'm going to get it at the pace that my body allows me to give it to me. So with that, I've got 2 weeks until this all kicks off, and I will update you as I go. And it's going to be one excellent adventure, and it could well be a very difficult adventure at the same time. we'll see. Talk soon.